Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today we're taking on a pretty wacky brew featuring a combo. It's meant to use Scapeshift to sacrifice your lands, put them in the graveyard, and search your library for that many lands. So you have a bunch of lands in your graveyard and a bunch of lands on the battlefield. Then you use World Shaper, which when it dies, put all land cards from your graveyard back onto the battlefield tapped, or Mending of Dominaria, which returns all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, basically doubling your mana by getting all the lands that you sacrificed back. And then when they come back, what we do with them is either draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life from Tatiova, or we cast Sylvan Awakening and beat the crap out of the opponent with our 2/2 elementals with Reach, Indestructible, and Haste. The rest of the deck is designed to keep you alive until you can make that play. Deafening Clarion is the only white card, but it's important that it deals 3 damage to each creature because that lets us our World Shaper die to trigger the combo. It also can give lifelink, and it wouldn't be the first time I've attacked with a whole bunch of 2/2 Reach, Elemental, Indestructible, Haste, lifelinking lands. So that could be exciting too. Also helping keep us alive is Star of Extinction. How many times we cast this card often has a lot to do with whether we win or lose. The ability to clean up all planeswalkers and creatures is a big deal. An explosion to deal a bunch of damage and draw a bunch of cards is an old-fashioned fireball way to win the game. And then we have 3 Thematic Compass, who can help hold the opponent off while fetching lands, and 4 Treasure Maps, which help stitch the combo together. In the mana base, I have a Field of Ruin and an Arch of Orazca as utility lands. The rest of the lands are basically basics that you can fetch, and dual lands to help us cast our 4 color deck spells on time. This is a pretty fun and wacky deck, and I hope to pull the combo off a time or two so you can enjoy it. Just a note before we launch in, this is the part where I take a second to shill for my great sponsors. Flipside Gaming is having a St. Patrick's Day sale, and your promo code CGB for the 15th through the 18th, it is good for 15% off instead of the usual 10% off. And yes, you can use it to pre-order War of the Spark or Modern Horizons, the 2 newest Magic sets on the way. So use the promo code CGB at flipsidegaming.com. The St. Patrick's Day sale, March 15th through the 18th, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. Let's go get a game. This hand has a compass, some World Shapers, and a star, and we're missing the ramp in between, but I'm going to be an optimistic person and hope that we get there by drawing it. Might be a little too optimistic. Another card that I thought about for this deck is Growth Spiral, but the blue is so splashy, I just don't think you have it early often enough. Our opponent has led on a Simic Guildgate. They have a Sarkhan Avatar. So is it a gate deck? Is it a Merfolk deck? I think that's pretty clearly a gate deck at this point. So here's an island. We'll say go. We'll use the compass to get a plains. Then we can get a World Shaper online next turn. And does our opponent have a Growth Spiral? It's possible. They go for Gaia's Blessing themselves. Well, let's go get our plains. And they draw a card, so they're not going to deck. They probably have 2 Gaia's Blessings to make sure they never run out of cards in their deck. Let's play our World Shaper and try to get that card going. We could have Scapeshifted first. I really want to wait till next turn if I can, though, just to make sure that the World Shaper gets an attack in and that I have more lands on the battlefield when I go to use it. Okay, Circuitous Route. I think I'll go attack with the World Shaper and Root. The other option is to Scapeshift right now. Then as soon as I blow this up, I basically double my land, but I could go for something even bigger. I don't think that the opponent is going to have many ways to exile my World Shaper. So yeah, I'm going to attack first. Mill 3 cards. 1 land. At least we hit 1. Then we can use the root. We want another red source for certain for the Star of Extinction. Otherwise, it doesn't matter much what we get. I'll get the other blue just because Expansion Explosion does require double blue. And now the compass flips over. So we've got a whole bunch of land. And we are setting up. Our opponent has Circuitous Route, so their combo's going off. We're both kind of just trying to do our tricky things. At least we know Nexus of Fate is banned. And we're going to need to find the Sylvan Awakening to make it lethal. Otherwise, it's just a combo that pulls a bunch of land out of the deck. And look at that Guild Summit. Drawing so many cards. How fun. Gates Ablaze discarded. Wow. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that this turn, instead of fetching more lands, I want to do the combo before something goes wrong. Let's attack first. Alright, we definitely hit some more lands on that one. Maybe I am supposed to grow then Scapeshift. I don't think the opponent can exile this, and we can still play this next turn and kill it that turn. So yeah, let's grow. Let's grow then Scapeshift. 1 and 2. Now, an important part of this deck is doing the math to make sure that you are not fetching more lands than you have in your deck. So this is 1, 2, 3 lands. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 24 land in the deck. So let's see, there's still 9 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we don't want to sacrifice the spires. We can sacrifice everything else though. And that should be all the lands in the deck if I don't suck at math, which is always up for debate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I was way off. Alright, I definitely messed up somewhere there on my maths, but it's okay. I don't want to sacrifice the spires anyway. They shut down Gatebreaker Ram and things like that for the foreseeable ever. And next turn, we can basically Deafening Clarion to get back all the land from the graveyard. Once we have all the land from the graveyard, we can use Arch of Orazca to get extra draws until we go for Sylvan Awakening and try to crush the opponent. A giant Archway Angel would cause a lot of drama, though. They might have too much life for the Sylvan Awakening, but if we have all 24 of our lands, Sylvan Awakening deals like 40-some damage. So let's see how this goes. Okay, there's Chemister's Insight that we saw on top of that deck, and Gaia's Blessing shuffled back in the other Gaia's Blessing. Weird. It's some kind of a deep combo. Okay, you need to pay 1, or it's just going to draw a card and go to the graveyard. Alright. That's an option. So I still have some land in the deck, but I don't think I want to attack with the World Shaper first, as milling myself could be bad. I don't know. That's a tough one, because on one hand I could mill the lands, and on the other hand I could mill some cards that I need. Remember, we also have Mending of Dominaria. That card gets more land, it reshuffles our deck, as long as we don't mill it. And we did hit a land, and 2 cards I don't really want to draw, so lucky. And we'll go with white, we'll go with blue, we'll go with red. Here's Deafening Clarion, 3 damage to my creatures. Never been so happy to blow up my own creature. There's all my mana. Now we can activate the... I think the best play is to activate the Arch, which I'll just do it now. I guess I could have played Compass, flipped it, and then activated Arch, and I'd have the Compass resolved. Our opponent with Omniscience. Oh my god. Well, let's see what it does. Omniscience Gates, huh? Well, we'll let them go off and see what shenanigans they can pull for the victory. Surely if they have, I don't know, probably a Rhythm of the Wilds to go with their giant creatures is how they win the game. We know that they have Gaia's Blessing, so they can go infinite, but how do they win this turn? Ta-da! I guess Gaia's Blessing with the Overflowing Insight could deck me. So that is a bit of a win con. Good old Omniscience Gates, classic. Okay. I guess that makes it risky. The opponent now draws 4 cards and they only shuffle back 3 when they play a gate, so maybe they'll make a mistake. Five cards left. Four cards. They go to empty if they play a gate. Instead, it's Plaza of Harmony, taking their life total of 40. Chemist's Insight down to 2. We know they have another Gaia's Blessing. They drew their deck. Okay. They overflow me. Yep. Wow, they play that many Overflowing Insights. Impressive. So they need to use Gaia's Blessing to loot it. Alright, down to 2 cards. Just kind of hoping that they click wrong is the only way that I win. And there it is. Get one back and finish it. Well, combo on combo. They got the combo first. We were still a ways away from our Sylvan Awakenings. Maybe next time. Our opener has some treasure maps and a Clarion, so I think it's worth trying. That's kind of what we need, is some early something to do and a way to not die. So let's try it out. I'm not Goku. Shoot you a little hello this evening. And Hazad Marshall. Yeah, this looks like a job for Deafening Clarion if we can find the right red source. Let's mark that upkeep and start scrying for the red source right away. Of course, flipping the map can also do it, so makes it even more important. Oh my. Dubs. Dubs Marshall. Sylvan Awakening has to wait until later. Not the land we're looking for. But it makes the opponent expect red mana even less if we play a third color. And double maps are here. The Marshal makes a 1/1 whenever the opponent attacks with 3 creatures, so they still need to add another creature to the battlefield to get the Marshal payoff, but they don't do it. Let's use treasure map here. Maybe they're missing a color. A second Clarion sounds really nice against a deck that uses Hazad Marshal, but it feels like it may also be a Divine Visitation type token deck. Still, I think this is a good keep, because the first one can be clearing the board. The second Clarion can be setting up our World Shaper. So let's pass it on over. We do have a treasure map flipping next turn to make the red mana that we need. And there is the missing color. Is this Heroic Reinforcements? That would be pretty strong, but no, just the 2/1/1 still bashing away. And look at everything coming in deuces here. The stage got lit, and what do we have? Tin Street, Dodger, and Seal Away. Perhaps this is a Cavalcade of Calamity deck, or something else I'm not thinking of. That can go to the bottom. I don't think another forest is what I'm looking for. Let's flip this map. There's a Circuitous Route. Drawing that could fix up our mana pretty nice, but I don't know if a ramp spell is what I need when I'm already flipping a treasure map with another one on the way. I feel like my mana is going to get taken care of. I think that what I need are the right spells. And I don't need another one of these either. So a lot of scrying to the bottom, a lot of digging. And I think I keep waiting, because these represent cards I could draw, so playing the World Shaper doesn't do much. There are no lands in the graveyard, so if it dies, I get no benefit. Our opponent finds another red. We can guess the Dodger is coming down, and we can guess the Dodger and the Marshals are going to make some dorks. Here they come again, and there are some 1/1s. It's enough that we have to blow it up now. And Does the opponent play anything else? No, they do not. Okay, let's try flipping this map. I think I'm making a new hobby out of scrying things to the bottom. Interesting, let's see. So if we could play this and fetch a red, but I think we're better off with red and Clarion. Make a stand, making all the creatures indestructible. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, a little bit of counterplay from the opponent. Let's draw a card. There's the Scapeshift. Let's play the Compass. It will flip because we have 7 lands and save us a little bit of damage. We'll figure out what we have to do next turn. It's possible that we can do Scapeshift, World Shaper, and Clarion all next turn. In fact, we can. It's important to know, though, that Treasure Coves, while they can be Scapeshifted away, they don't come back with World Shaper because they turn into artifacts. So it's not as big of a Scapeshift World Shaper as we might think. Here comes the pain. Let's go ahead and send one of these back where it came from. And resolve all. Now I'm wondering if the opponent has more make-a-stands in their hand, considering how much nothing they're doing. It does make me think that they might have another trick up their sleeve. They're just kind of sitting there. Alright, let's go with green, green, blue, white, green, green. Scapeshift is going to put the lands into the battlefield tapped. If I'm going to do this right, I better use full control mode, or it might tap the mana wrong. There we go. So we'll go like this, and with it on the stack, we'll add a white and a green to the mana pool. And do I want to get rid of one of my treasure coves? No, I don't think so. It does, like I said, it doesn't come back, so we'll hit resolve. Scapeshift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Submit. Go get red, red, blue, blue, white, and an arch. Done. Play World Shaper. Let's turn off the full control now. Resolve. Let's play for white and for red. And let's go for the Clarion. If it doesn't work, well, I'm just dead. How many make-a-stands did you bring? Okay, they didn't bring another make-a-stand. Lands are back. So, combo kind of achieved. Now we need the Sylvan Awakening. We've got 2 more draws off the Treasure Cove and the Arch. Oh! What on earth was in their hand? Maybe more Seal-Aways, Lava Coils? Compass, no third land, 2 Grow from the Ashes, a World Shaper. I'm not sure what this hand even leads to, as this is such a deck. This is such a different deck from anything I normally mulligan with. It's so hard for me to know if keeping this hand will get me somewhere. I mean, really, if I draw a land, it's off to the races, and flipping a Compass can hold off pretty well, while Mending and World Shaper might do some stuff, but I just don't know. Learning on the fly. Our opponent's on gates. We top deck the land like a pro should. And let's try just running this Grow from the Ashes. We'll go get the blue source. More gates, I'm sure. And a Branch Walker. That's kind of weird. Not what I expected at all. I mean, it looks like a regular gate deck until that happens, but The gate deck is very customizable, so it's not that surprising to see some customization. So if we grow from the ashes, we can also play a treasure map, but I could also just search for a land and play another compass, which I think I like quite a bit better. Hard to explain the exact why, but next turn I can grow from the ashes, I can play the map, and because I kicked it, I can flip 2 thaumatic compasses next turn, and then the opponent will have a very hard time attacking me, plus the compass can pay for scrying with the map right away. And we're looking for a Scapeshift right now, I suppose. That's Scapeshift and a Sweeper for the World Shaper. Opponent found themselves 2 more gates to do their millions of colors gate thing. Let's go ahead and search up 2 lands. I think I'll leave the red and the... I guess a second blue might be necessary if I draw Expansion Explosion, but I'll leave the other red source in the deck since I have enough of them. And here is treasure map, and we'll pass turn, flip those compasses. Mark the upkeep for a stop, as we now try to scry ourselves to good cards as often as possible. Meet the Spires of Orazca. Untap target attacking creature an opponent controls, remove it from combat. Means you don't have to take any damage from it. Growth Spiral without playing a land. So this is all gas, no mana. What nonsense is coming our way? There's always more nonsense out of the gates. Okay. I mean, as far as what I'm afraid of, growth spirals could be a lot worse. And there's a Colossus. Our opponent found the 8/8. Okay, no attack then. That means I get to map up. And there's the Scapeshift, so we'll keep it. I still need a way... to kill my World Shaper, but the opponent usually doesn't have a lot of exile stuff in the gate deck. It's all Gates Ablaze, stuff like that. So I'm probably safe playing it. Let's run the Scapeshift first. All this can go. So we'll go Scapeshift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Submit that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I always get my non-basics because I can't fetch my non-basic lands with cards like Grow from the Ashes or Circuitous Route. Alright, your turn. Now if the opponent so much as attacks, I can get all my land back, unless they find a way to exile or tap the World Shaper. Yeah, I bet they're thinking of going into the tank now. What on earth is this player doing? What is this card? Why is it mythic? What is this card? Why is it called World Shaper, which is a really cool name? And then it does, like, so close to nothing. There's a Hydroid Crassus. Alright. Only got 3 cards and a big old jellyfish. Anybody want to attack? Reads the Spires. Yep, it's still not legendary. Let's put an upkeep stop down just in case. Oh, there is the attack. Alright. I'm blocking for sure then. I want that in the graveyard. And we'll back that up. I guess I could have traded for the Branchy. That would have been better than chumping the Colossus. That's a bit of an oops. But now we're going to find a way to kill things. So Clarion doesn't kill enough things. I'm looking for Star of Extinction for sure. Nope. Not it. Draw. Land. Of course. In your deck, draw land. It's the tradition. Let's try... Well, I want to try Arch, but I'm too worried about Auto Tapper, and it takes like forever to tap all this mana, so I'm just going to go for the Mending. A World Shaper hits the graveyard, a World Shaper comes back. Now right now it doesn't get much, but I guess I could activate the Field of Ruin and have that come back to me. If it doesn't cost me too much. And let's pass it on over. So what would that be? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think I'd rather draw a card with the Arch than get one land back, one land out of the deck and one land back from Field of Ruin. We also get another go of it next turn because we get the World Shaper back. Maybe that is worth it. To sacrifice Field of Ruin, then get it back when World Shaper dies. Guild Summit. Begin to draws the cards. Now we're just looking for the Sylvan Awakening. So, yeah, much better to draw a card off the top than Field of Ruin if we're trying to draw with Sylvan Awakening. Opponents like showing off that they can draw their deck. Everybody knows. Nobody's surprised. We've all seen the gate stuff. Although that Omniscience Gates was a little fresh, it makes me want to throw an Omniscience into my gate deck. Here they come. You can block here. And then we'll turn around the other creatures. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I guess I'd have to sacrifice a treasure. I don't want to give up a card. I'll just take my card with the Arch of Arazka. Oh, there it is. All right. My turn. Opponent has to discard. They're down to just this. 2, 4, 6. Well, if I can use the treasures to pay for it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20. Oh yeah, it's enough. It's enough if I use the treasures. My lands do gain haste, I might add. All right, are you ready? It's the beating that you've all been waiting for. Roar! Lands come to life. They're alive. Saruman will pay for what he did to those Ents on this night. My fight is with Isengard tonight. I don't know the exact quote, but that's what I have in my head. Yes! Yes! Revenge! Revenge on those gates! I hope you enjoyed some of the Scapeshift combo gameplay. It was very exciting. I actually meant for there to be more, but I recorded for about an hour earlier today and my microphone was muted. Muted the whole time. Had no audio. Lost some great games, but thankfully here in the 11th hour this evening I was able to find a few more great games so that this video will upload on time, as it is one of my goals to never miss a day. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment. You can also support the channel on Patreon for special perks. Links are in the description. Our sponsors are HauntedFlower.com and FlipsideGaming.com. Haunted Flower sells officially licensed MTG apparel and accessories, and Flipside Gaming sells MTG cards and supplies. You can save 10% on either site with the promo code CGB, and it supports the channel at the same time. See you next time for another day in the arena. For now, it's me, it's CGB, signing out.